Yeah.
You know, the people who've been putting these flags up, we haven't really heard from them. They haven't said what their motivations are. When you hear them say anything, they're always saying, oh, I'm not racist, mate. Whereas my patriotism is based in values, the values that we as a society try to uphold: compassion, tolerance, respect for the views of others. Identity is a purely personal construct. There are some people to whom the flag means nothing, they're not interested in it. That's their right.
Can I just revel in the love of England?
Yeah,
because
sure.
I don't want viewers to think we're not going to love England.
No, we do. We do love England. The things I love about England, Marmite.
Yes.
There's nowhere else in the world. I've been all over the world because of that job. No one has anything that can touch Marmite. But the problem is, it's such a divisive issue. You know, people...
I feel a metaphor coming on.
No, not really. Just it's one of those things. Because when people sometimes ask you to make a list of the things that define Englishness, it's you know, impossible to do, because that would be top of my list.
But you did also reveal a love of our folk tradition, which many of us might have forgotten.
Yeah.
You tried to revive.
Well, no, I was kind of part of that because of the miners' strike. You know, during the miners' strike, there were a lot of folk singers whose frankly, music was more radical than mine. And partly I've come from that tradition. You know, my moments in Englishness that really inspire me are the fact that we were the first people to recognise that no one is above the law when we chopped off the head of King Charles. You know, we had the first working class movement in the world in the Chartists. I revel in the things that we achieved with our neighbours in Scotland, Northern Ireland and Wales, the Battle of Britain, the founding of the welfare state, and of course 1966. That's always got to be in there.
Yes, that was a football match.
It was indeed.
And are you telling me that I can be of the left and wave my flag as proudly as from the right?
I do, because I think you know, my fellow travellers on the left will recognise there are many types of socialism. There are many types of patriotism. There's a traditional patriot who believes in things that are immutable, that never change. So the flag would be one of those things, the monarchy, the army perhaps. Whereas my patriotism is based in values, the values that we as a society try to uphold: compassion, tolerance, respect for the views of others, and the people of the country. You know, I find in them and in their diversity something that I'm very proud of.
Oh, on the flag? Yeah, I mean, look, I just came straight here from the proms, and I will hopefully be in the crowd at the last night of the proms waving my flag. I think that, to me, is one of the things I'm really proud about of this country. I think the fact that we do every year 90 classical concerts, which were broadcast all over the air for free. You know, our various values. Yeah, I waved, of course, when the women won the Euros.
Which flag did you wave?
Obviously, for the Euros, you wave the England flag. For the last night of the proms, you wave the Union flag.
Yeah, I mean, that's a great thing. It's all about context. Yeah. You know, the people who've been putting these flags up, we haven't really heard from them. They haven't said what their motivations are. When you hear them say anything, they're always saying, oh, I'm not racist, mate. Now, those people who were in the mall when the women brought the European Championships home, thousands of people waving the flag of St George, not one of them needed to or felt the urge to say, oh, by the way, I'm not a racist, because in that context, it's celebrating our unity. And unfortunately, the flags on the lampposts, because they're not saying what they're about, the implication is that they're more divisive. And I personally object to the flag of my country being used to intimidate my neighbours, and that's why I'm so patriotic about it.
I mean, I think everyone would do that too, Billy, but I don't think that people who necessarily have put flags up, that you can't brand them all as being, you know...
He's not.
No,
I don't.
I know
he's not. He's saying it's ambiguous.
No, I know he's not, but I think there are some people
here's the question.
who do that.
Here's the question for you.
Did you read the Union flag? It's my flag.
I'm not talking about the Union flag.
No,
I don't want to save the... I'm talking about the St George's flag, which is a saint's flag.
Yeah, that's
it belongs as much to Genoa as Guildford. So part of us don't really understand what it is. But I read a piece in the Sunday papers that we are looking at the Ulsterisation of British politics. And you, more than anyone, can warn us if that's a problem.
Well, if I was to drive around Northern Ireland at the moment, I would, in some parts of Northern Ireland, be absolutely covered in either the Northern Ireland Ulster flag or the Union Jack. And then in other parts, there would be quite a lot of people flying the Irish tricolour. So there is, it does mark territory.
Yeah, I do think this is what it is. It's about identity. And it's funny that the people who have been criticising the left for pursuing identity politics and the politics of grievance for the last 10 years, the people who have accused us of virtue signalling, and now identity signalling or supporting the signalling of territory, very similar to what happened in Northern Ireland by the use of these flags. And I think all of us recognise that there is a divisive aspect to that, not just because we know our history in Northern Ireland, but because of what the flag means to some people and the way it's been used, for instance, outside of asylum seeker hostels.
Yes, but I think we have to, I mean, we can't just say, well, we can't fly the flag
No, not
because
at all.
so that's why we have to counteract that. And probably for years people weren't flying. There was a feeling that you couldn't fly the England flag because it was seen as being very much part of the.
Let's have Stephen have a go.
I think look, so we need to be clear and we shouldn't button up on the back on this. Some of the people who are putting up the flag at the moment are deliberately doing it because they want to unpick actually all of the work people like Billy did to reclaim the flag and make it a symbol for everyone, right? Now, actually, the really positive thing is some people seeing a flag going up are clearly going, oh, that's a nice idea. So they're already making this attempt to take our flag away from us more ambiguous. So, actually, it's positive that people see the flag and go, actually, why don't I put one up as well? Because that way it shouldn't ever be a symbol of people who graffiti streets, who smash up things, who want to use violence rather than democratic politics. We can't let these people take away our flag.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And I think the women's football team and at the moment the women's rugby team as well are doing a great job in giving the flag to everybody because, if you're looking, it's hard, Englishness is it's an abstract idea, it's an intangible idea. And plus, identity is a purely personal construct. There are some people to whom the flag means nothing, they're not interested in it. That's their right. That's 100%. But
what do we read into the fact that the Home Secretary's got more flags than there are puddings? I mean, she's got flags in the garden, buntings here, buntings there. I mean, is there a sort of...
Funnily enough, I saw that she said we should put them up everywhere. And I thought, oh, she's talking about asylum seekers. But sadly, she was talking about England flags. And I don't think she should give people licence to stick things anywhere they want to stick them.
I thought it was ridiculous, because, just sounded so ridiculous and so set up.
Well, that's not fair. And it's not fair. If you like flags, you can't have her not putting one up.
Paddy, what did she mean by she had a house full of flags? I mean,
All right. I think if you've got a flagpole, have a flag. If you ain't got a flagpole...
I haven't got a flagpole.
Well, exactly. Get yourself a flagpole.
Why must you shame me? Flag shame me. Billy Bragg, please come on constantly till the end of Newsnight.